Yeah, there you go. As you can tell by the sign, my thinking is, well, if we can have Alan out here and we can have Oprah out here, why can't we go there? We're the only like show that's Australian made for Australian public eyes. Although this actually goes to the world, not that it's a big world anymore, because when I was growing up and we didn't have all this access to technology, we'd think the other end of the world was the other end of the world. We would think, well, if I walked around the block, I might as well be walking around the moon because it's just as far to walk. Because in those days we didn't have the technology to know that there's more to the world than there is just the stars, the skies, the moon, and the earth. We used to think that if we wanted to go to America, we'd have to save lots of money and allow lots of time to get there. Because we used to do it by ship. We had the planes, but the planes weren't that reliable, so people preferred to use the ships. And in those days, the ships would take 2 weeks to get there before you could actually start your holiday in America. Whereas today, it's only 8 hours to there and you're on your holidays. Same as Europe. Europe's a lot closer than we ever thought it would ever be. I've just realised if I do this, I could still do my YouTube if I can, with the music coming over the top. We'll try it. We'll see how good this goes, and we'll see how long we can go with this for it to be as successful as what it was before. Because I would like to be able to speak more about myself and try and promote myself or the show to go to the US. I'm still out looking for jobs. I get paid sufficient enough with my pension, and my pension is only something that I actually earned through the Navy. A little bit more extra would help along the way to enable my wife to have time off from work, so she can have some ease on the legs. That's what's my intention, and I'm hoping that it will happen one day, that I can actually do this show as the Paul Beavis show, as anyone else does. Like Conan, I said Ellen, I said Oprah, David Letterman, Jay Leno is another one. We have The View. Then we have all the medical shows. I don't mind bringing someone like medical on the show every now and again to tell us a bit more about things that should be happening and shouldn't be happening, and things we can do and what we can't do. I'd like to see what we can explore on my show. Maybe we can explore to the ends of the world, like to the moon. I'd still like to know, is there any cameras out there big enough to spot the buggy that's still been left on the moon? Because they didn't bring it back. So we'll look at that. Okay, well, today's guest is ZZ Top as Lagrange. And we'll talk more about ZZ Top at the end of the song. Okay, ZZ Top, Lagrange. Well, that was ZZ Top. Now, ZZ Top is an American rock band formed in June 1970 in Houston, Texas. The band consists of a guitarist and lead vocalist Billy Gibbons, bassist and co-lead vocalist Dusty Hill, and drummer Frank Beard. It's a good, very apt name for the band. Having the last name Beard, they do have some long beards. They say that to have the long beard, it means you can strain the soup as you slurp it, and that leaves the flavour in the beard long time after. The band and its members went through several configurations through 1969, achieving the current form when Hill replaced bassist Billy Etheridge in February 1970. Shortly before the band was signed to London Records, Etheridge's departure issued primarily from his unwillingness to be bound by a recording contract. Since the release of the band's debut album in January 1971, ZZ Top has become known for the strong blues roots and humorous lyrics motifs, relying heavily on double entendre, entendres, and innuendo. ZZ Top's musical has changed over the years, beginning with blues-inspired rock on their early albums, then incorporating new wave punk rock and dance rock with heavy use of synthesizers. So we've got a bit of Kraftwerk in ZZ Top because that's where the synthesizers came into effect. Kraftwerk. I will play Kraftwerk again one day. Now, the credits to ZZ Top. Origin, Houston, Texas, United States. Genres, blues rock, boogie rock, because I suppose that you'd get a few boogies in amongst the beds, wouldn't you? Hard rock, southern rock, electric blues. 1969 to present. American Recordings, RCA. These are the labels. American Recordings, RCA, Warner Brothers, London. We should also have to put on EMI because EMI is actually the producer of Space Hit 74. American Recordings, RCA, Warner Brothers, London. Moving Sidewalk, Associated Acts, Moving Sidewalks, American Blues, website zztop.com. Members, Billy Gibbons, Frank Beard, Dusty Hill. Past members, Lania Gregg, Dan Mitchell, and Billy Etheridge. So that is what I'm describing as to be my show. Now, I will put a try and put a spin that makes it humorous to the kids as well as to the family. The swearing, minimal. There'll be no tags, and there'll be no issues relating to bullying. See this? This will no more be tolerated on the Beavis show. Even though there's a V in my name, the V is part of my name. We're going to turn the V into the legs, into the V upside down, because we want to come together. We want to come together. This means we come together. We get to talk to each other, and there's no bullying. So that was 11 minutes. And usually I have about 20 minutes in my show. So if I was to take my show to America, I'm not sure. The only way I can do this is by downloading it and putting it on YouTube and putting it to each one of the guests or those people that are on Twitter. I'll let them know that I would like to do the show and do it live. None of this taping. What I will say, I would think that we could present it twice in a day. Because I noticed that even with Craig Ferguson, if he does a swear word that he's not supposed to say or says a word he's not supposed to say, it gets bleeped out. That's not what I want. What I would like to do is do the late show of a night's time, and then if there's chance of doing it in the morning when there's a mum and dad or someone at home like 10 o'clock in the morning, and the repeat is made, then if there's anything that needs to be edited, will be edited from the original that was presented at 9 o'clock the night before. So therefore, as much as I'll keep it as family orientated on the night, if there is something that's said that's not supposed to be said, it's not going to be bleeped out. So therefore, what's been said will be said as it is being said. No editing. We'll have makeup, but the editing will only happen for the show that we presented at 10 o'clock the next day. So, my ads. I'm hoping I'll get sponsors that need help rather than sponsors that are selling a product. In other words, for each week of the year, there's always a day of something. A day of red noses, a day of pink ribbons, blue ribbons, red ribbons, white ribbons, yellow ribbons, Daffodil Day, Anzac Day. So on each one of those situations, I would then advertise them as being my product for the day or the night. And I will attempt to put a background to represent each one of those organisations with the website and with how to do donations. I do hope to get an income to help my wife through her pains at the moment, and this is my way of doing it. So I hope that there's a lot more that come on board. Retweet this and send it to as many people as you can so they have an understanding that I'm trying to do this for my family and not for my advantage, although it is an advantage if I got the job or was able to present this more live and give more features onto the show. Live features. I'd like to see a lot of these musicians that are still alive that I've been playing on the albums come on the show and do it live, as it should be done. Alright, that's it for my show. And this is the Paul Beavis Show. This is what we're trying to do. Let's take the show to the U.S.A. and retweet. 26th of March, 2013. That's 10:05, 22:05 Sailor time. Catch you later. Bye.